From the leader in television news, Gene West. This is Kentuckiana's News Channel, WHAS 11.
It is actually a beautiful day across Kentuckiana. The sun is shining. Temperatures are increasing, but you can see that fog has moved in. People are trying to get out on the roads of Kentucky. These are live pictures from Sky 11 this noontime. We want to find out what's in our future this Friday, January 21st, as Kentuckiana digs out. So we asked Ken Schultz to come in with the forecast. Ken?
Well, you're right, Gene. Temperatures on the way up, and rather quickly downtown, we're already at 14. We started below zero, so we're making up grounds. We have just a light southwest breeze, so really the wind chill factor is not a factor again. It's 14, just the same as the air temperature. We have sunshine, but what's left of this morning's dense fog is lifting and creating that haze, and that will stick around throughout a good part of this afternoon. But we are looking for sunshine and some warmer temperatures, not only today, but the next few days. Details on that forecast coming up in just a few minutes. Gene?
All right, Ken, thank you. Most of Kentuckiana is still trying to cope with the snow and ice from Monday's massive snowstorm, and this morning was no exception. Our Julie Koenig was up for some of the morning rush hour in Sky 11, a foggy rush hour. Joins us now live. Julie?
Yes, Gene, it was a very foggy rush hour. The fog has kind of dissipated thanks to this wonderful sunshine starting to finally warm things up here for us. Let's take a look down at Spaghetti Junction now. A very different sight than we saw this time at noon yesterday. Remember, all those semis were backed up as the snowplows were scraping I-65 south. Right now, things almost looking normal. You can see traffic moving very smoothly along 65. 71 looking good, too. Two lanes appear to be open, both directions, north and south. The only interstate that appears to be a little icy is I-64, which I believe is still officially closed, although that might be changing later this afternoon. Still a little ice on 64. The ramps into Spaghetti Junction look a lot better. There are no trucks or any other stalled vehicles that should impede your traffic. This morning, things weren't so bad. I mean, we know that rush hour was moving along fairly smoothly from what we could see of it. Unfortunately, drivers had to deal with both slippery and soupy conditions. Take a look from Sky 11. The sun's up, and another day begins in Kentuckiana. Good news is you can finally see pavement on I-65 heading into Louisville. Bad news is you can't see Louisville. As the temperature climbs a few precious degrees, it causes this thick soup to form over the Ohio. Fog chokes traffic on the Kennedy Bridge. It's even worse to the west over New Albany. Sky 11 carries us east over Jeffersonville and closer to the Ohio River. At least we think that's the Ohio. It's hard to tell beneath the soup. Utility towers that normally tower over the landscape only peek out from the thick layers. And somewhere beneath all of this, Kentuckiana drivers again make the treacherous trip to work. Another day dawns in Kentuckiana. Another day of snow-packed roads and bone-chilling temperatures. A day when the River City turns into a city in the clouds. Again, we're back up here live in Sky 11. Those were just some of the amazing pictures we saw this morning. Fog that was very pretty, just not easy to fly in. Again, Spaghetti Junction looking pretty good at the noon hour. We're going to be heading around to different sections of the city. We're going to be flying over Shively, the Okolona area next. So remember to keep it tuned here to the news channel. We're the only station bringing you live updates on traffic from the sky. We'll let you know what it looks like in a few minutes. Gene.
All right, Julie, roads look so much better this morning, and we're going to find out about I-64 between Louisville and Lexington at about 1 o'clock. We understand the governor's going to make a decision, and we will let you know what that is this afternoon as soon as we know about it. Now, city and county leaders in Jefferson County say they are making progress in clearing the roads. For an update on the work, let's go live to Jim Turner, who's at the command center in City Hall. Jim, what's the latest?
Well, Gene, first we'll give you an update on the snow plows. The city, the county, and the state have between 70 and 80 snow plows at their disposal. Many of those are down right now because of various mechanical problems, but the state has kicked in another 21 plows, so they're using those today in Jefferson County. That should speed things up, especially on some of the secondary roads. They've covered the primary roads. They're now relying on hitting some of the secondary roads this afternoon. The city and the county also are using fire trucks and garbage trucks in residential neighborhoods to try to break up all of the snow and ice that's still out there. Fire trucks and garbage trucks, they hope to cover every residential road in the city and the county by Sunday night, and we'll let you know how that progresses. You may see one of those trucks in your neighborhood sometime today or sometime this weekend. Now, this morning we have talked to several people here who are in charge in one way or another of coordinating the cleanup and the relief effort. First, we talked to Jack Nevin. He's the Director of Disaster and Emergency Services in Louisville and Jefferson County. Here's what he had to say to anyone who would criticize the snow cleanup plan.
I think we've made absolutely the best effort we could make with the equipment that we had at hand. And certainly it would be nice if we had a garage somewhere with 100 snowplows sitting in it, but that's not the way it is. You fight the war with the weapons that you've got and not what's on the drawing board.
Again, the state is supplying 21 additional plows to Jefferson County, in addition to the 70 plows already available. Also, volunteers with four-wheel drive vehicles are still needed today and this weekend to supplement some of those plow drivers. They need the four-wheel drive people to come out and transport medical personnel. They need them today, and they will need them over the weekend. Here's some other information now. First, some information about TARC, the bus service in Louisville and Jefferson County. 26 routes, the local routes, which is pretty much back to normal as you look now live at the command center here at City Hall. 26 TARC routes, the local routes. The express routes are still down, but they hope to return to regular service over the weekend. As for the power situation, LG&E reports today that as many as 42,000 customers lost power throughout this week, but almost all of those people have power now, so everyone who was in the dark no longer is in the dark or in the cold. One other note, the shelters that have been set up throughout Louisville and Jefferson County, the population has dwindled significantly with the roads reopening and in somewhat better condition, and with the weather warming up a little, people are leaving the shelters. One final note, Gene, the phone number for people who have the four-wheel drives can come out and volunteer. It's 574-3900. Fairly easy to remember, 574-3900 if you have a four-wheel drive. Gene.
All right, thanks. Jim Turner reporting live from the command center for us, and we should have warned you to have a pencil and a pad handy because we're going to be throwing numbers at you. We've been getting calls from people who are still snowed in, but we got one call that may be able to help you. This is a person who has a bobcat and is out clearing driveways for you. If you need help getting cleared out or plowed, call 966-4518 and ask for D. That's 966-4518. Ask for D. They are charging $25 to $50 to do driveways, and if you need a larger area, you can talk to them about those fees. But that is someone who has a bobcat as a part of his business, and he's out just trying to help people dig out. I'll give you that number again later in the newscast. We're going to be going for an hour, so get your pen and pencil and your pad ready. Firefighters in Clarksville battled a terrible fire this morning. 6 people were inside the house when the flames broke out. 4 of those people were injured. Our Bill Minish went to the fire this morning and shows us how one man helped to save his neighbor's lives.
Crackling flames, the spray of fire hoses, the thick charred smell filling the air. The house is a loss. The wind, 6 lives saved.
The building's just lost due to the rescue and the time it took to do that. So, there ain't nothing we can do now, just
put it out. That's what I was just telling you.
I mean, it's vented all the way through there.
Everybody's out, that's the main thing.
Everybody's out thanks to a neighbor, a hero.
Mr. Rachel next door was over here before the fire trucks got here trying to help pull some people out of the house. There are several elderly people that live there.
He jumped out of bed. In seconds, he was across the street, and he was pulling people out, yelling for help. It looked like they were getting them out safely. It didn't look, the people that had been brought out looked like they were fine.
Now the attention turns, making sure the firemen are fine.
How you feel? Fine. 2 Salisbury guys going in? Yeah. Feed them line, make sure they're okay.
Any fire is hard to fight, and when you have conditions like this, it's just extremely difficult.
You got a ladder coming over this way?
You can't hardly pull your lines, you can't walk. Everything freezes. It's unbearable. You need to rehab about every 20 minutes. But with the condition of this fire, there's a lot of guys that wasn't able to rehab
we just kept fighting and fighting and fighting.
Fighting to get the flames out, fighting to stay a step ahead of the cold, knowing their fight saved 6 lives. Bill Menish, Kentuckiana's News Channel, WHAS 11.
Now, 2 of those victims are in stable condition at Clark Memorial Hospital. The others were transferred to Jewish Hospital in critical but stable condition. Another big fire here in Louisville last night. Firefighters think a homemade heater started this blaze. Look at the flames pouring from this building on 6th and Magnolia. The fire burnt out 2 homes. Everyone got out okay. One resident says smoke detectors alerted him to the flames. This was a tough blaze for firefighters. They had to deal with the snow and ice. Ice even formed on many of the firefighters' uniforms. Also last night, a funeral home in Middletown caught on fire. Firefighters battled the blaze at the Will Height Bullard Funeral Home. 2 people who lived there were hurt. Firefighters say they went back into the building to try to save their cat. One firefighter also went to the hospital for heat exhaustion. 4 bodies being prepared for burial were transported to another funeral home. As we've been telling you, most of the interstates are now open, and Governor Jones is expected to open Interstate 64 between Louisville and Lexington in about an hour. Our Stephanie Collins joins us from along Interstate 65 with a look at the interstate road conditions there. Stephanie?
Hello, Gene. Out here live on Interstate 65. We're right across from the airport, and maybe you can hear a plane just took off and went over above us. We also have plenty of traffic moving along here. We've hit a lull moment, but just seconds ago it was like a convoy of trucks moving along, most of them at a pretty good clip, anywhere from 45 to almost 50 miles an hour. If you remember, that was not the situation yesterday. Yesterday, a log jam stretching 37 miles, 5-hour delays for most traffic as these truck drivers tried to make it south through Kentucky. Now, for motorists who ventured out this morning, though, they found that the road situation wasn't as good as it is up here on 65. It's 5 a.m. and we're traveling with WHAS news photographer Donnie Rourke. We've just turned off Brownsboro Road onto the Watterson Expressway entrance ramp, and we're heading west towards St. Matthews. As you can see, we're hitting a few bumps, but it's pretty smooth going here. Now up ahead near the Watterson Exchange, fog, not ice, seems to be the problem here this morning. Now here's a look at Lexington Road. We're in the city limits near Frankfort Avenue, and it seems to be passable. We're seeing a few more cars on the road than yesterday at this time. Now over on Shelbyville Road, we're finding a few more scrapers on the road this morning. These folks from Mack Construction were hired just last night away from Indiana by Kentucky to clean up Shelbyville Road. This crew started here at the Mall St. Matthews and scraped clear down to the Shelby County line. Now back up on the interstate, we're now traveling with WHAS news photographer Ted Roberts. You can almost feel the bumps on this ramp as you ride along with us. We've turned off Hurstburn Lane and are picking up 64 heading into town. It's very slow going. This is a dangerous ramp. Now we're going to end our trip over here on Poplar Level Road. It's about 6 a.m. and as you can see, many cars on the road, moving along in single file though, hoping to make it into work without making a call to an insurance company. And we're back out here live on Interstate 65. We're showing you some of the traffic headed north. For some reason, there seems to be a lot more trucks moving north around this noon hour. There's an emergency vehicle coming our way. Southbound traffic is moving along at a good clip, again 40-45 miles an hour, and that's probably because there are two lanes of pavement, not ice open, Gene.
All right, thank you. Good news. Stephanie Collins reporting live for us. Now let's recap which interstates are open or at least partially open. This is a list of the roads. You can now use I-71 between Louisville and northern Kentucky, but the roadways are not completely clear. Keep that in mind. As for I-65, that's now open, as Stephanie just showed you, between Louisville and Elizabethtown. But remember the mess from yesterday after Governor Jones announced it was open? From Sky 11, you could see the incredibly long line of trucks and cars. Traffic was backed up for 50 miles. Drivers hope that won't be happening today. And as you could see from the live report that Stephanie just gave you, it probably won't be happening. Now, as for I-64 from Louisville to Lexington, that is still closed, but we expect that the governor will make an announcement that it would be opened at around 1 o'clock today. We'll bring you that news as soon as we get it. And the Watterson and Gene Snyder are open too, but they are still slick and very dangerous. So the word is easy going. Take it easy, take it slow. Some of the city streets are doing pretty well today, but it's the outlying roads that have been creating some of the biggest headaches for motorists. Our Chuck Olmstead joins us now from the south end of town. How are things looking there, Chuck?
Well, I can tell you, Gene, the sun may be out, but there's still plenty of evidence of lingering ice and snow here on Dixie Highway and in the minds of many area residents who feel they're the ones getting a snow job.
Every county through road has been plowed with the exception of one.
But pull off Dixie, down Greenwood Road and into some of the small streets, and neighbors will tell you a different story. Tight squeeze here.
It is.
Are these roads plowed back here much?
Not a bit. Haven't been touched.
Is this a county road? I think I heard the county judge saying this morning that every road in the county's been plowed.
Well, maybe we succeeded from the county because there hadn't been a plow back here.
It's not that various highway departments aren't trying. In fact, we caught this plow near Dixie and the Snyder Freeway just before noon. Trouble is, he's plowing to make room for a tow truck. The other plow already suffering bad luck. Clutch went out in this one? Yeah. You guys all loaded up with salt, too? Yes. Meanwhile, back live here on Dixie Highway, you know, it's hard to take this camera around without running into folks, well, like Tracy Ward here just came up to us. What'd you have to say, and what do you think about the job so far out here?
Chuck, to be honest with you, I'm very, very disgusted. We live in Valley Station. We live off of Fincastle. It looks like I just do not understand what the taxpayers' money is doing because down...
Can you get in and out of your subdivision?
No. It's hard, very, very hard to do.
You got a quick answer?
No, you cannot get in and out of our subdivision.
You got a quick solution? What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing downtown. I have no idea.
Frustration.
They have forgot about Valley Station, period.
That's the sense of frustration on the part of many people in this vicinity, Gene, and I guess we could hear more and more of this as long as we want to stay out here.
All right, Chuck. Thanks so much. Chuck Olmstead reporting live from the south end of the county. It looks like some of our city streets down the aisles at area grocery stores. Long lines of grocery carts congest walkways, and to wait at the checkout line could last longer than being stranded on the side of the road. Donna Lacey reports on the food you'll find in short supply at a store near you.
Well, of course, everybody needs groceries, and local grocery stores have never seen so much business as they've seen this week. We're here at the Kroger store on 2nd Street. Is it, John, 2nd Street? 2nd Street, and it's not jam-packed as some grocery stores have been. As you can see, there are a few people making their way down the aisles, but it's sure to get a lot busier. It was really hectic last night, we're told. Staples, that's what they're running out of more than anything, but not here at this store. Take a look at milk. It's in high demand. But as you can see here, they have gotten gallons of milk, any type of milk that you need, vitamin D. You're looking at, what, 2% milk, chocolate milk. They have it all here, and we understand they just got this shipment in last night, just able to get the trucks on the road and get them here safely to get the milk here. Bread is another staple that's been going fast, and here at this Kroger store, we've also found that that's the case. And at the bread shelf, as you can see here, it's there's some bread, a lot of bread, the Kroger's bread here, but some of the other vendors have not been able to bring out their trucks, and as you can see, there are some empty shelves in the bread section. Now back here in the milk section, we're going to talk real quickly to John Morton. He is an assistant manager here at the Kroger's. And I mentioned milk and bread. What else has been going fast?
A lot of things people use every day are going. A lot of the fast food items are going very quickly. Things you can prepare very quickly are going very fast.
Your milk, you're able to get it last night, was I correct?
Yeah, deliveries are coming back online now. As soon as traffic gets better, roads get better, we'll get deliveries like we are now, starting to get deliveries like a better routine. So.
Might we see another situation where milk is running out? Are we, like you said, on routine now?
It's back to routine as long as the weather conditions hold up, as long as the roads are still passable. Shouldn't be any problem with getting deliveries to the store at all.
Store hours, are they regular now, or what are your hours?
We'll be going back to store hours that are regular Tonight we're closing at midnight, so tomorrow we're closing at midnight. Shouldn't be any problem with store hours either.
Okay, thank you, John Morton. Well, as you've heard, things are getting back to more routine at the grocery stores. They shouldn't be running out of items at all, milk or bread. Things should be in stock. And the hours, as John was just saying, should go back to normal. They opened at 7 this morning. They'll be open until midnight. I think that's all I have to tell you for now. Reporting at the Kroger's on 2nd Street. I'm Donna Lacey. Back to you guys.
All right, you might want to call the 2nd Street Kroger and any Kroger or Winn-Dixie if you plan to head out there. There's a chance that they may close early and they may sell out of most of their food, so you want to call ahead before you head out. With the weather getting warmer, so to speak, we all know the big meltdown is coming, so to prevent flooding in your homes and your street, MSD is asking everyone to start clearing the street drains. In downtown Louisville, MSD used backhoes to start clearing the drains on street corners yesterday. In fact, they had to use pokers to find the ice-covered openings. And it is that ice that you need to make sure is removed and not blocking the drain so that the runoff can clearly move into the sewers. If you don't clear the storm drain on the street yourself, if you can't do it, call MSD. This is the problem line. They've told us that it is open 24 hours a day at 587-0603. Now, if you want to get out today and see places of the city that you haven't seen in 4 or 5 days before the snow melts, it is awfully pretty. Tark may still be your best bet. Each day, more and more routes are opening as the roads get better. The buses will run until 9 o'clock tonight on these routes. Here are the routes that are running by number: 4, 6, 11, 15, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 25, 27, 29, 31, 40, 43, 72, 74, 80, 81, and 82. If you have any questions about the routes that are running, you need to call this number. This is the Tark information number, easy to remember, 585-1234. Up next, another problem from the storm businesses open their doors, but no one comes to shop. Plus, Ken Schultz's weekend weather forecast. We'll want to see this one. Our special coverage of the winter storm continues when we get back.
The news on Kentuckiana's news channel WHAS 11 is sponsored by Star Ford, with parts and service open daily until midnight and Saturday until 5 p.m.
Star Ford, the largest Ford program car dealer in the U.S., is having a sale. Save thousands off original list price on these specials. 93 Taurus, loaded with airbag, only $13,488. 93 Thunderbirds, loaded just $12,988. 93 Tempos loaded, $94.88. And a special purchase of 87 Chevettes, only $29.88. Balance of factory warranty on all Ford vehicles. Save thousands now at Star Ford sale. Don't miss it.
When I get gas, I may look like this, but I feel like this, painfully bloated.
Gas-X has the most powerful medicine to fight gas faster than antacids.
So I feel like me again.
Painful gas needs the power of Gas-X.
Attend the Entrepreneur Expo this weekend at the Kentucky Expo Center by the airport at I-65 and I-264 Junction. Get into your own business now.
WHAS 11 has Kentuckiana's only live local news on Saturday morning with Doug Proffitt, Ashley Chisholm, Julie Koenig, and Fred Wishy. Saturdays 7 to 11 on WHAS 11.
I'll never forget the flames. I can still smell the smoke. My husband was badly burned in the fire that night. But thanks to the burn center at University of Louisville Hospital, he's doing just fine. We lost a lot in that fire, but it'll never compare with what we saved.
They come every year before the big game.
The Clump Brothers.
Clint Brothers.
Super bucket. 15 pieces of original recipe or extra tasty crispy? Original recipe! Wrestle ya!
But they can never choose between original recipe with 11 herbs and spices or extra tasty crispy marinated and extra crunchy.
Get both. Both? 15-piece super buckets are just $9.99 each. We do chicken right. After you. After you. After you. After you. After you.
They fear for their lives.
If he finds me,
He'll kill me.
I'm afraid to go to my garbage. I'm afraid to go wash my clothes.
Afraid the man they once made love to is going to murder them.
He tells me that he's going to kill me. He just has to decide when it's my time to go.
At least 4 million women are stalked and terrorized by somebody they know.
He told me that I'll spend the rest of my life looking over my shoulder.
Protecting yourself from a stalker. Next, Oprah.
Today at 4 on WHAS 11.
Ken Schultz's weather has the seal of approval of the American Meteorological Society.
The WHAS 11 Storm Team. Meteorologists Chuck Taylor, Ken Schultz, and Ashley Chisholm. The WHAS 11 Storm Team.
This is part of the culprit here that gave us the snow and the bitterly cold weather this week. Jet stream dipping out of Canada, in fact, out of the Arctic region, draining that cold air. In fact, for a time this week, we were colder than Alaska. That chunk of air just kind of slid down across us and is now easing on out. But cold air is heavy. It takes a little while to move it on out, but it looks like that trend will happen over the weekend. The jet stream like this right now, over the weekend, it relaxes a bit. It goes back to our north, which means the coldest air this weekend will be found from the Great Lakes region on over towards the New England states. For us, we'll have a southwesterly wind, and that will mean continued moderation in our temperatures. So we do have that to look forward to, but again, that's going to melt the snow, and you're going to have to clear away those drainage areas around your neighborhood to make sure that the melting snow has a place to go. Temperatures at noontime, we started off this morning with temperatures 5, 10, 11, 12 degrees below zero. We're making ground here. We're above zero now in every location. Bowling Green 20, and around the Louisville area we're finding 9, 10, 11 degrees rather common. Out at Standerford Field, our temperature is 12 degrees. We do have a bit of a wind chill, not much, an east breeze at 5, so the wind chill factor is 8 degrees right now. Humidity still high. We have haze out there, 73%, and the pressure's falling at 30.72. Our high yesterday was 16 degrees. We're closing in on that. We started off this morning at -6, not a record. The record low for this morning was -11. No precipitation to speak of since yesterday noon. We did have some flurries around. I guess we could have said a trace, but nothing of any consequence since yesterday noon. High pressure is giving us our weather right now. Sunshine today and starting to pick up a southwesterly flow. Don't worry about this cold front. It looks ominous. We've seen a number of these come down upon us and through the area that has brought some very cold weather as of late, but this one is not going to make it through the region this weekend. We are going to have southwesterly winds, and that means moderating temperatures, not only high temperatures, but lows. This blue-green shading here are teens tonight, temperatures that are not expected to drop down to zero, and that includes all of our viewing area, although I think many areas outside of urban areas like Louisville and the Cincinnati area could see temperatures 5 to 10 above. But I think all temperatures will remain above zero tonight. And tomorrow, this green area, that's 30s. We're on the south side of that, which means upper 30s here, 40s to our south, 40s will be here on Sunday. Our forecast in detail for today, then mostly sunny. The high 25 degrees, but it will be a hazy sunshine out there. Now tonight, fair and cold, and once again some patchy fog could form, and if you see fog tomorrow morning, bank on some icing. That fog could leave just a real thin coat of ice because there's moisture involved there, and temperatures will be cold enough, obviously. 12 degrees in the city, 5 to 10 in outlying areas, 38 degrees tomorrow, 44 on Sunday, 50 Monday, 52, maybe some showers by Tuesday.
We had some people calling from Oldham County saying there's something weird happening. There's ice crystals floating in the air. I guess that's the moisture just freezing.
When the air gets that cold, it just can't hold the moisture, and it squeezes every bit out of it in the atmosphere, and they take the form of little ice crystals, which hang suspended in the atmosphere.
That's what they said. It's really weird looking. Okay, I wish I could see that. Sounds nice. Thank you, Ken. Earlier in the week, most people use the streets as walking paths all over Kentuckiana, but now the streets are filled with cars, so there are no sidewalks for pedestrians, and this poses a problem for all of the businesses trying to open up. Here's Jeff Lifson now with a closer look at that.
I'm Jeff Lifson from the West End on 10th Street right off Broadway with a problem that some businesses are probably running into today, trying to get back to business, as the mayor and the county judge and the governor are encouraging those folks to do. First of all, how do you get there? I mean, this is supposedly where people are going to park and go to your business, like this one right here. There's no chance you'd be stuck here all day and probably feeding the meter, wouldn't have enough change for it. Sidewalks, equally a problem. There's been a little bit cleared off here, but anybody who is elderly or having problems walking would have a tough time getting into this particular store. The other problem, I guess, is that once all this sort of happens, you're waiting for a thaw. Do you open up? Do you not open up? Do you have, like, people come in, expect to pay them full wage and not have any business that day? These folks opened up. Yeah, they opened up, but they said things have been kind of slow. So that's really the problem that folks are running into. There's really no opportunity to clear all this stuff in one day. This gentleman said he won't be able to clear off all his area, and he's wondering what customers will be able to show up, if at all. So getting back to business is easier said than done, and we'll send it right back to you.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Julie Koenig spent quite a bit of time this morning up in Sky 11 checking out the morning rush hour, but it was difficult to see because there was so much fog. Let's go back over downtown to Julie now. Things are looking a bit better, right, Julie?
That's right, Gina. The fog seems to be burning off thanks to this lovely sunshine, which is keeping us a whole lot warmer up here in Sky 11. But traffic is actually flowing pretty decent. We're here over the Valley Station area. Let's take a look down at Dixie Highway. Right at the entrance to the Gene Snyder Freeway, you can see Dixie down this far south is still snow-covered, I believe, where Chuck Olmsted was earlier today. It might be a little bit safer driving, but traffic seems to be moving along without too many problems. We haven't seen any accidents. Folks, if you are traveling in this area, you might be aware that both the entrance ramps to the Gene Snyder and to 264 from Dixie Highway are still snow-covered and very slippery. Cane Run Road, major thoroughfare taking folks out to the Greenbelt Highway, is still snow-covered out to that industrial park region. Some of the subdivisions here, it looks like some have been hit with the snow plows. Some looks just like car and truck traffic has pushed down that snow, so we can understand why folks are a little frustrated with the situation on the roads. We're going to be flying over Okolona, heading out to Jeffersontown, and we'll tell you what that area looks like in a few minutes.
All right, thanks so much, Julie Koenig in Sky 11. Let us give you that number again for someone to come out and plow your driveway. If you need to get dug out, this is someone who has a Bobcat who's out plowing driveways. Call this number. It is 966-4518. There will be a fee, a nominal fee, but ask for Dee when you call this number, 966-4518. And her husband and his brother are out with a Bobcat that they own as part of their business, and they'll plow you out for you today if you need it. We've been deluged with calls about that number, so we'll try to give it to you one more time before we end our newscast. Now, when we come back on the news channel during this special snow report, we'll go back downtown to the command center and talk with Jim Turner. Meanwhile, you're looking at live pictures of Interstate 65 moving rather normally today. We'll be right back.
We overpriced. Not enough power. Hey, nice truck. That's more like it.
The all-new Chevy S10, completely redesigned from the inside out, with full-time anti-lock brakes, more head, leg, and shoulder room, and the interior comfort of a car. And the best part, just $199 a month, including air. Surprise? You shouldn't be. It's a Chevrolet. Test drive the new S-Series today at your Kentuckiana Chevy Geo dealer.
I'll never go back to denture pastes or powders again.
Here's why. C-Bond denture adhesive. No other adhesive works like C-Bond, and it holds dentures so tight, so long. C-Bond combines two powerful adhesives into a soft micro-thin seal that bonds your dentures to your gums, can hold them comfortably all day long.
I'll never go back to pastes or powders.
There's no messy cleanup. C-Bond is so easy to remove. Nothing holds dentures like C-Bond.
You'll never go back to pastes or powders again.
Warm up to great values this weekend during Bacon's Sunshine Sale. See our coupon specials in the paper and save up to an additional 20%. It's the Sunshine Sale at Bacon's.
Honey?
Hi.
Kraft Deluxe. You must be having company.
The richest macaroni and cheese can make any meal seem like a special occasion. After all, Kraft Deluxe is made with a rich blend of two cheeses.
Maybe it's our new neighbors.
Honey.
I'm coming. Oh, no. I bet it's your boss.
Two cheese Kraft Deluxe.
How do I look?
Overdressed.
With two cheeses, it makes any dinner deluxe.
I usually buy a Post Raisin Bran. They say it's premium. Total Raisin Bran? Never heard of it before. The raisins are big. Tastes good. Wow, look at this. Total Raisin Bran's got 100% of all these vitamins and minerals. Post Raisin Bran doesn't. Not even close. This is the primo stuff.
Total Raisin Bran. The Raisin Bran with the total difference.
All those vitamins and minerals, and it tastes good. Can I keep this?
Okay, a couple of things we want to tell you about. The Kentucky Humane Society is asking for volunteers to plow or dig out their parking lot so they can begin to adopt animals again. Anyone willing to help, call the Humane Society at 366-8586 and PNC Bank branch offices will only be open until 4 o'clock today. So if you're getting off work, it's Friday, you got paid, you need to go to the bank, you need to get there before 4 o'clock. Now, let's go back down to City Hall and Jim Turner. Jim?
Gene, this is the day that in the county and in the city of Louisville, fire trucks and garbage trucks are heading out to try to break up some of the snow and the ice on the secondary streets and in the neighborhoods where they just don't have enough plows to hit. They're sending out the fire trucks and garbage trucks. As you've heard throughout the newscast, at least from Chuck Olmstead a few minutes ago, a lot of people who live out throughout the county are not happy about the snow removal effort, given the fact that there's still 16 inches on a lot of the roads. This morning, plows headed out bright and early. In fact, they were out overnight. We're looking at video now from Shelbyville Road. Plow hits a clump of ice there and moves on down the road. Throughout the morning here, we've been asking different people who are in charge of the operation what they think about the snow removal effort and how they would respond to their critics. Here's what County Judge Executive Dave Armstrong had to say.
This is a very unusual storm. It's the largest storm we've had. It's the coldest weather we've ever had. So under those conditions, our people did the very best they could do. There are a lot of heroes that work for the county, a lot of heroes that work for the city. I mean, this community came together, and I think we did the very best that we could.
If every plow were up and running in the city and the county and the state plows that operate here in Jefferson County, if all of those plows were working, we'd only have a little more than maybe 70 to 80 plows, and we're getting 21 more from the state today. But most of those, well, not most, but some of the plows, the 70 to 80 plows are down, and so the 21 plows are definitely needed here, Gene.
Turner reporting live from the command center down in City Hall. Now, there is still a huge demand for four-wheel drive vehicles to help get people to area hospitals and other places. If you have a truck and still want to volunteer, call this number. It's 574-3900. They will be able to direct you to some place that still needs some transportation help. Well, you don't necessarily need a four-wheel drive to get on the interstates, but it certainly would help out a little. Stephanie Collins joins us again from Interstate 65 with an update. Hello, Stephanie.
Hello, Gene. That's right. There's more 18-wheelers out on this road today than there were four-wheel drive vehicles. You know, it opened up yesterday, and as you can see, we've got 2 lanes of pavement headed south. Northbound, though, it looks a little bit more treacherous. Not sure if there's ice under that snow, but traffic appears to be moving a bit slower headed northbound. Southbound open, 2 lanes of pavement. You'll remember yesterday this whole area was a bottleneck with truck drivers, 37 to 50 miles, one truck right after the other with 5-hour delays. But as you can see now, travel along Interstate 65 is running along pretty good. One problem, though, if you're thinking about getting up here and trying to head north or south, is you better watch out when you get on the interchange, when you get on the ramps. The ramps are still a bit treacherous. When we came up here from First Street, it was rough going, and we're in a four-wheel drive vehicle. So that's just something for folks at home to keep in mind. If you want to get up on the interstates, remember the ramps are still pretty bad. Back to you, Gene.
All right, Stephanie, thank you. A look at some of the other news around the nation now. Figure skater Tanya Harding says she never considered pulling out of the Winter Olympics despite damaging accusations from her bodyguard. Harding practiced in public for the first time yesterday. She landed 3 of her trademark triple axel jumps during the practice session. The Oregonian newspaper is reporting that a grand jury is deciding whether or not to indict Harding, but Harding is still insisting she knew nothing of the attack on Nancy Kerrigan.
The only message I can say is just keep believing in me, and thanks for all your support. And I'm going to do the best that I can for everybody. You know, I do it for myself, but it's not just for me. It's for the whole country, and it's for Oregon.
Shane Stant is the man accused of carrying out the attack. He was released from jail Thursday after posting bond. The future of Lorena Bobbitt is now in the hands of a Manassas, Virginia jury. The jury heard closing arguments yesterday after 7 days of testimony, during which time the defense argued Mrs. Bobbitt was a battered wife driven to a justifiable act of madness. But the prosecution says it was a malicious act of revenge. Lorena Bobbitt could face up to 20 years in prison if she is convicted of the main charge of malicious wounding. The federal government is getting some financial relief to victims of Monday's earthquake in California. People began lining up early Thursday to wait for 10 disaster centers to open their doors. They're applying for low-cost loans and cash grants. Federal emergency management teams hope to move quake victims out of tents and into trailers.
These are travel trailers similar to what you would have hook onto the back of your automobile, but depending on the size of the family, 2 or 3 people could live, not comfortably, but they could live on a temporary basis in a travel trailer.
10,000 people are living in makeshift tent cities, and some are sleeping in shelters. The death toll from the quake is now at 52. We have an update on Kentucky interstates coming up next on the News Channel, and we'll check back in with Chuck Olmstead coming up. But first, here are more pictures of Kentuckiana this afternoon, live pictures from Sky 11. We'll be right back.
The weather on Kentuckiana's News Channel, WHAS 11, is sponsored by Oxmoor Toyota, with parts and service open daily until midnight and Saturdays until 5 p.m.
It's Toyota's first big sales event of 1994, and the savings at Oxmoor Toyota are great. Special factory-to-dealer incentives allow Oxmoor to offer low monthly payments, like $279 a month for a new Camry. New Corollas, only $189 a month. Take your choice, new Tercels or 4x2 pickups, only $149 a month. With over 700 vehicles in stock, you can choose from the largest inventory in Kentuckiana at the largest Toyota dealer in 32 states. Oxmoor Toyota, the Toyota warehouse. Why go anywhere else?
Earlier this week, Mrs. Murphy had a no-stitch cataract procedure at the John Kenyon Eye Center. The day of her procedure, the center's driver picked Mrs. Murphy up and drove her to the center. The no-stitch cataract procedure took only a few minutes, much less than she expected. Later that same day, she was home again. Today, just a few days later, she is seeing the world in a whole new light. If you or someone you know has cataracts, please call the John Kenyon Eye Center at 288-9011. They can bring world-class eye care home to you.
America, this cream of wheat thing is out of control. You started adding berries, and it tasted great. But now you've gone bananas. You've gone coconuts. Cream of what? What next, mangoes? Mangoes. And think about the kids. They're already doing cream of wheat with maple syrup. Soon it'll be raspberry jam. Would you do that with your oatmeal? No way. Hot cereal's supposed to be serious. But with cream of wheat, anything goes.
I got mine.
Congratulations.
I got mine at Holland Income Tax.
She got mine. When you let Holland Income Tax axe your tax, you not only get a fast, accurate tax filing, you can also get your refund quickly with our Fast Cash Refund. That means you can use your refund sooner than ever before. Stop by your nearest Holland Income Tax office today so you can say,
I got mine.
Axe your tax at Holland Income Tax.
Value City brings you the greatest savings ever on boys 3-pack Fruit of the Loom All-Stars Major League Undergear. It's all premium quality, rib pre-shrunk, 100% cotton with Lycra spandex leg bands with that great Fruit of the Loom fit. And that's not all. In every 3-pack, you'll find a special package of 1993 Fleer baseball cards. A single 3-pack compares elsewhere for $5.99. Now at Value City, they're an incredible value. 2 3-packs, only $5.
It's a double!
Major League savings on boys Fruit of the Loom 3-pack underwear with free Fleer baseball cards now at Value City department stores.
All right, let us give you that number again for snow removal. This is the number that we gave you. It is 966-4518. Some folks are dialing 98. That's not correct. 966-4518 is the number that we gave you to call. If you need your driveway plowed or some other areas, call that number and ask for Dee. They'll try to help you out. And, again, to update you on Kentucky's interstate highways, they're all open or at least partially open so far. So here's a list of those roads. You can now use I-71 between Louisville and northern Kentucky, but again, the roadways are not completely clear. As for I-65, it's now open between Louisville and Elizabethtown. Now, I-64 from Louisville to Lexington is still closed, but it should be open. We're expecting the governor to make an announcement around 1 o'clock this afternoon. And the Watterson and Gene Snyder are open, but they are slick and dangerous. So again, take it slow, take extra time to get where you're having to go today. We've had many people who are interested in the streets through subdivisions and other roads on the south side of the city. Let's go to Chuck Olmstead. He spent a lot of time out there this morning. Chuck?
Well, here on Dixie Highway, traffic moving well, no accidents to report. The highway, not perfect, but passable. As for area residents living off the major streets here, finally some good news. After all, for days they've been complaining that the only plows they've seen have been on television news reports. Now, county government saying with the major arteries like Dixie passable, they can divert attention and make now as a priority clearing up those side streets beginning today and continuing through the weekend. Certainly welcome news for the area residents here. This is Chuck Olmstead, back to you.
All right, Chuck, thank you so much. Now we'll get a weather update from Ken Schultz coming up next on the News Channel. And if you're looking for an easy way to make pasta, we'll have it for you.
N.K. Hurst and beans has something to make you smile. A packaged black bean soup, Spanish-American style. So pick some up today and hear the whole family say, oh, we love Hurst and beans cooked the Spanish-American way. Oh, just open the seasoning packet, no other bean soup has it. Tell all your friends and neighbors, it's a Spanish-American flavor. It's a #1 when the dinner bell's rung, enough for the entire troop. It's from N.K. Hurst packet Spanish-American black bean soup.
This is the big one. Douglas Expositions presents the 37th Annual Sport Boat and Vacation Show, January 22nd through the 30th at the Fairgrounds. Brought to you by American Airlines, Mix 102, and Humana. It's bigger and better than ever, with more boats, more RVs, more vacation possibilities, and more fun than ever before. Come out and browse, dream, be amazed, and learn at the hunting and fishing seminars given by the nation's leading experts. The 37th Annual Sport Boat and Vacation Show, because it won't be long till it's that time of year.
It's official. December 93. History repeats itself. Ford is again #1 in cars, #1 in trucks. And for January 94, it's Ford's bestseller celebration at your local Ford dealer with big savings on the #1 selling small car, Ford Escort. Now with a standard driver's side airbag and still priced thousands less than the competition. Or get big savings on Ranger. Again, the #1 selling compact pickup. Hurry, see your local Ford dealer. Be a part of the bestseller celebration and save today.
I know what you want before you say it.
Tyson Holly Farms chicken.
I know the song before you play it.
Because you want only the best for your family.
We're just family, you and me. Tyson. Feeding you as good can be.
Tyson Holly Farms chickens are so fresh and natural because we never forget where all our food is going.
Tyson's feeding you like family. Tyson's feeding you.
Ken Schultz's weather has the seal of approval of the American Meteorological Society.
The WHAS 11 Storm Team. Meteorologist Chuck Taylor, Ken Schultz, and Ashley Chisholm. The WHAS 11 Storm Team.
Started off the morning with low clouds and fog, but over the last couple of hours, we've seen that situation improve rapidly. Those low clouds and fog creating some problems this morning and not only reducing visibilities, but also creating some icy stretches on those area highways that were at least partially cleared. And the same may happen again tomorrow morning and Sunday morning as some milder air starts to move in, especially near rivers, creeks, and streams. So keep that in mind. If you see fog early in the morning, bank on some ice. As for precipitation, not much of that around. In fact, it's dry throughout most of the Midwest and East. Some rain is cropping up in Texas, but that looks like it's going to be traveling more to the east over the next few days and not towards us. Could have some showers moving in early in the week, but it's too early to say really if we're going to have a heavy rain episode. It may be Wednesday or Thursday before a significant heavier rain may occur. So we're just going to have to watch that situation. But we're going to have a chance to warm up a little bit over the next few days. Temperature's doing that right now. 8 degrees at Lexington, 10 at Cincinnati, but already up to 17 degrees at Paducah. Here in Louisville, we're 12, but gaining ground at a rate of 5 to 6 degrees an hour. Wind chill, not too bad, 8 degrees. Well, bad enough, obviously, but not much of a breeze out there. Still have some haze, high humidity at 73%. Pressure high, but starting to fall. Yesterday's high was 16, morning low 6 below, record was 11 below this morning. No precipitation has occurred other than a few flurries over the last 24 hours. High pressure in charge of our weather now will be again tonight. This cold front, don't worry about it too much because that's going to drop down towards us but not through us. The jet stream is changing around a bit and all the cold air behind this cold front will move from the Great Lakes region on into New England. It's going to be cold and wintry there, but for us, we're going to have a southwest breeze this weekend and continued moderating temperatures. And again, we'll watch some showers crop up to our southwest in Louisiana and Texas. Our first chance for showers arriving here sometime either late Monday or Tuesday. As for our forecast for today, it looks like this. Mostly sunny, although a hazy sunshine. 25 the high, so we're still gaining ground. Remember, Tuesday, our high was 3 below. Then Wednesday it was 5 above. Yesterday 16, today 25. Now tonight, fair and cold. Some patchy dense fog possible later on tonight, so watch it. Our low temperature of 12 degrees. Outlying areas will be 5 5 to 10. Tomorrow, a little warmer, 38 degrees. Forecast for Sunday, partly cloudy and 44. See, the low temperatures are warming up too. Monday, we'll see a temperature up around 50 with increasing clouds, maybe some showers on Tuesday with the high around 52 degrees. Gene?
Ooh, springtime. Thanks, kid. Let's go back up to Sky 11 now for a bird's eye view from Julie Koenig. Hello, Julie.
Hello again, Gene. Hello again, everyone. We've just been flying over the Okolona area. We've seen a lot of snowy roads and somebody with a bad case of cabin fever and a sense of humor. We can fly forward just a little bit. I don't know if you can see through the trees. Someone is spelled out there in a yard. It's cold, and from being up here about 1,200 feet above the city for the last 4 days, I can tell you, yes, I know it has been cold. Tell you about some of the roads we've passed on the way here. The outer loop is clear with some snow, but traffic moving fairly smoothly. Gene Snyder, again, snow covered all the way down to one lane in both directions. At the Jefferson Mall, there was a little activity. That's what we're seeing over there. A little bit to the east, the major roads leading into the mall, Preston Highway, moving okay. Snow covered south, though, of the outer loop. Old Shepherdsville Road looks pretty snowy, pretty icy. And also, again, outer loop heading into the mall looking pretty good. So Okolona, not too bad. Just be careful on the roads because it doesn't look like the snow clouds have been here more than once. We're heading over to Jeffersontown and bring you another update before the end of the show. Gene.
Thanks, Julie. It's cold. That's what I said for the entire ride into work this morning. It's cold. Are you a big fan of Italian food? Well, sometimes exotic cuisine seems hard to prepare, but it doesn't have to be. Using a little secret, you could make a couple of those difficult-looking Italian restaurant specialties. Here's Mr. Food.
A couple of the favorite items on the Italian restaurant menus are stuffed shells and stuffed manicotti. But a lot of people won't make them at home because they think it's too much bother. Well, it's really so easy with a couple of pointers, and we still collect on it looking so difficult. Like using any brands at all, we mix together 2 pounds of ricotta cheese, a ½ pound of shredded mozzarella cheese, a ½ cup of Romano or Parmesan cheese, 2 eggs, a tablespoon of chopped parsley, a teaspoon each of crushed garlic and salt, and a ½ teaspoon of pepper. Now, that's the filling. Okay, we cook a box of shells or manicotti, but only 5 or 6 minutes. Now, we drain and rinse them under cold water to stop the cooking because we want them to be still firm. That's the first tip. The second is that now we fill a large plastic sealable sandwich bag with the filling. Now, we snip off an end, and we can fill those shells as easy as squeezing. Now we lay them into 2 baking dishes with some spaghetti sauce on the bottom, then cover them with more sauce, sprinkle on some more Parmesan and mozzarella, bake them in a 350 oven about 40-45 minutes, and they're like the restaurants. Is that easy enough? Now, if you'd like the recipe, just send a self-addressed stamped envelope marked stuffed shells to me, Mr. Food, right here at the station, and we'll get it back to you for looking like the pro that can even stuff stuffed shells or manicotti. I mean, they wouldn't bother with those. The only part they know about is the, ooh, it's so good.
Ooh, does look good, though. If you want a copy of that recipe, here's all you need to do. Send a self-addressed stamped envelope to Stuffed Shells, WHAS-TV, Post Office Box 1100, Louisville 40201. We will have a final weather update from Ken Schultz when we come back here on the News Channel, and we'll check in once more with Jim Turner down at the Command Center at City Hall. More live pictures now from Sky 11 from Kentuckiana's News Channel. We'll be right back.
Two quarts of milk makes every 8-ounce bag of Kraft shredded mozzarella taste better. How do they do that?
Well, 2 giants pour the milk into the cheese that it got so big that it exploded into little pieces.
Every 8-ounce bag of Kraft shredded mozzarella is made from 2 quarts of milk. That's why it always tastes better than imitation shreds, made with almost no milk at all. Kraft shredded mozzarella. More milk means better taste.
K-R-A-F-T. I love that story.
I'm Pat O'Hearn of Cabinet Pack. This time of year is a slow time at Cabinet Pack, and I want to get my trucks moving to your homes. So right now, for a limited time, I'm offering a 20% discount. We put new Formica doors and drawer fronts on your existing cabinet framework, saving mess and money. You normally save up to half the cost of custom-built cabinets, and now you can save even more, an additional 20%.
Call Cabinet Pack today, 361-3838.
This feels terrific. You know, the health benefits of adjustable beds are pretty obvious, but they're also great for reading, watching a late-night movie, or just sleeping. At Mattress Warehouse, we have a complete selection of adjustable beds at surprisingly affordable prices. And here's the best part. No high-pressure stranger will come into your home. We're a local company and offer immediate, free delivery and service. Mattress Warehouse in Brass, the mattress professionals.
The 5 o'clock news, weekdays on WHAS 11.
All right, let's get the last word now from the command center down at City Hall. That's where Jim Turner is. Jim?
Gene, when we talk about road conditions, what matters most is public safety. Joining me now is Dick Bartlett, the Director of Emergency Medical Services in Louisville, and I might just ask you how your EMSs and EMTs are getting around today.
Well, it's still taking us a while. It's still slow go. Obviously, these folks are getting a little tired because obviously you've got to carry everything in, and you're walking still through some pretty deep snow. Road-wise, obviously they're still plowing things back, so it's still slow getting there. People don't obviously have a lot of room for them to move over when we make an emergency response, so that's still a problem. Run volume is still up about 50% over a normal day, so that still is a concern here. Fire's helping us out by being first responder continuing,
right.
And that's really helped us in some of these cases because we are seeing an increase in unconscious persons and heart attacks and whatnot, so they're being a big help.
So even though the roads are clearing, the roads are looking better, your load certainly does not let up, does it?
Well, our load isn't letting up, but we're not seeing a lot of injury accidents, but the problem is that more people are out there. I mean, they're out there trying to pick up things that they need, shop, go to work. That's adding more volume on the roads, and the roads aren't as wide as they used to be, so that's causing some traffic problems for us to get around.
Okay, Dick Bartlett with Emergency Medical Services, thank you very much for joining us. One other note, if you haven't been with us throughout the newscast, fire trucks and garbage trucks are heading out into all of the residential areas of Jefferson County and the city of Louisville. They hope to hit every road by sometime Sunday night to try to help break up some of the snow and ice. Of course, the one thing that will help us with that the most is the sun, and we'll hope that temperature warms a little more than, what did you say a minute ago, 12 degrees, Gene?
Oh, something close to that. We'll have Ken in just a minute. Thanks, Jim. Now, we're going to go back up to Sky 11 one more time before we leave you at noon. Julie?
Hi, Gene. Yeah, we made it over here to Jeffersontown for a quick look at Hurstbourne and Taylorsville Road. We want to take a look down here. I was kind of curious because I always have to fight this traffic to get to the bank on Fridays. As you can see, as usual, Hurstbourne Lane is moving at a crawl. Looks to me like there are 2 lanes open in some ways, in some directions, although I know from driving in this way that there are still some really bumpy spots. Taylorsville Road looks pretty good, heading both east and west. Also, 6 Mile Lane still snow-covered, but no sign of any holdups there. Again, the good news is that Sky 11 now has a heater, so we will be up for a full 90 minutes tonight starting at 5 o'clock all the way through 6:30. We'll keep an eye on you and make sure you get home safely. Gene?
All right, thanks so much, Julie. Come down and get warm now. Again, to update you, Kentucky's interstate highways are all open or at least partially open. Here is a list of those roads. You can now use I-71 between Louisville and northern Kentucky, but the roadways are not completely clear. As for I-65, it is now open between Louisville and Elizabethtown. Now, as for I-64 from Louisville to Lexington, that is still closed as of yet, but it should open. We're expecting an announcement from the governor in a few minutes about when that will be open, and the Watterson and Gene Snyder are open, but again are slick and dangerous. One more weather note from Ken Schultz. Ken, it's warming up. I saw a little fog when Julie was out there.
I tell you what we have is 12 degrees right now. It's true, but you know where you have asphalt and where they have scraped some, that sun, even at 12 degrees, is burning that slush and ice and snow off at a pretty good rate because the sun's warming that asphalt up and warming it and melting it from down below. So it is working its wonders, even at such a very cold temperature.
And you know what? The icicles, it's amazing. I've seen icicles on my house that have gone all the way to the ground. So it is melting around the rooftops and the gutters and just making these huge icicles, which can be pretty dangerous, actually.
I was just going to say, I would break those things off from doorways. I really would. And that just bitter heart experience here because I had one when I was a kid land on me, and I tell you, they can kind of, well,
they
especially
are pretty
a small
heavy.
kid.
Yeah.
But I had a thick head, so I guess it all worked out for the best. Our forecast for today: sunshine, 25 degrees. Fair tonight, 12 degrees. Outlying areas 5 to 10. Tomorrow, I think we will get above freezing, 38 degrees, and by Sunday, we're talking about temperatures in the low to mid 40s. Monday, we're going to start to cloud up, and there will be a chance for some rain showers arriving early next week. That's going to be the next thing we're going to have to watch carefully because of the potential for flooding. But right now, it looks like any showers early on might be light. Heavier rain maybe by midweek.
Okay,
So
thanks so
one
much.
problem to another.
Oh, well, it's still winter, unfortunately. And that's our extended coverage of the snowstorm of 1994. Stay with us. We'll be bringing you updates throughout the day and, of course, a complete 90 minutes of news starting at 5 o'clock tonight. Thanks for watching. Stay in, stay warm, be careful. Have a good day.
It's the Once in a Blue Moon sale at Value City, featuring part of a $14 million buyout. Juniors and Missy, famous California maker, 1- and 2-piece swimwear. Not $36 to $72, Juniors $7.99, Missy $9.99. A fabulous collection of famous maker regular and full-figure bras. Not $8 to $28, only $2.99 to $5.99. Plus famous maker control bottoms. Not $10 to $25, only $4.99 and $6.99. During the Once in a Blue Moon sale at Value City department stores.
America, this cream of wheat thing is out of control. You started adding berries, and it tasted great. But now you've gone bananas. You've gone coconuts. Cream of what? What next? Mangoes? Mangoes. And think about the kids. They're already doing cream of wheat with maple syrup. Soon it'll be raspberry jam. Would you do that with your oatmeal? No way. Hot cereal's supposed to be serious. But with cream of wheat, anything goes.
UPS supports better schools for Kentuckiana kids and is proud to be a part of the WHAS 11 and Kroger Video Gold Setters program. Get your kids involved.
4 hours of Saturday morning on WHAS 11.